Alrighty. Hello, hello. Sorry for the wait. I have been taking a poop. So I'm here now. I'm so sorry, guys. I do appreciate your patience. I do appreciate that a lot. How you guys doing? Okay, so I see Godslayer, I see Michael, I see Symbiotic Games or Gamers, I see King Boy, I see Mr. Yeet, I see Corey, I see DDP Gamer, I see O. Oh, that's epic. Let's see. I see Josh. Hi, Josh. Who else do I see? I see. Let's see if I hope I don't miss anyone. I know I saw Michael. Jan is here. I see Jan. Hello, hello. AIR Ryan. Hello. Ahmed. Hello. Ascent. Hello. Welcome, Ascent. If it's your first time here. Night Miner 24. Minecraft and more. Give me my boy card draw speed. Oh man, imagine giving yellow Gogeta draw speed. Imagine giving Gogeta draw speed. God, if Gogeta got draw speed, actually, let me think about that. Yellow Gogeta with draw speed. That would be a nightmare. You would have to, I would honestly say, in an LBR tournament format, you would just not be allowed to run that unit. Like, if I'm really honest, especially if you're pairing him up with Topo. That's just not allowed. Obviously, the team can still fail if you're bad with the characters, but, like, otherwise, that team is just nonsensical. Put enough defense and health buffs on Gogeta instead of strike values, and boom. Man's untouchable with Vados. You are the first person to say my name correctly on the first try. Well, I just assume Ascent is spelled Ascent, and I just assume that's how it's pronounced. Hey, Josh, how you doing? Yeet. Hello, Wesley. I see you. Congratulations on almost 2K. Yeah, thanks. The fun fact, guys, I have almost earned an extra 1K subs in basically a little over a month. And I've been on YouTube with this channel specifically since last, I think, April. But I didn't really start making actual content for this channel that I actually, I didn't make dedicated content for this channel until, like, literally January. So my growth has just exponentially increased since January because of finally actually taking YouTube seriously. Finally. So yeah. Realistically, I've only been hard at work on YouTube since January. All right. Anyways, today's lesson. So I think I'm gonna break this down, but I'm gonna ask you guys later in a community post, either today or tomorrow. But it's gonna be more about like what you guys want to see on like a consistent basis. It's not gonna be necessarily always the same thing. It's just that I want like a theme. I want to do stream themes because I think stream themes will help you guys be, aware of what you guys are going to be receiving. And I want to give you something that is of value. I also want to give you some fun things. So I don't want to just always do teaching moments because sometimes it's nice to just sit back and not have to learn anything. But today is one of those learning days, so I'm thinking maybe teachable Mondays, gameplay Wednesdays, rate my team Fridays. Something like that. So gameplay Wednesdays can just be playing the game, actually. Teachable moments can be both in-game and outside of the game. Today will be more outside of the game, but we are going to go into the game later today because I want to show you physical examples of how this is going to function. So today's going to be both. Some days it's going to be one or the other. Hi, Ultimate Despair. I see you. It's me, LFMUI Gogeta. Ah, there we go. Hello. How you doing? Yeah, Phil, boy. We'll see. Are you thinking about making a shirts channel? Maybe, but like for now, no. It's been a long minute. Can I call you Phil? You can call me whatever you want. Super Vegito 72. You can either call me Saitama, Phil, Dad, Daddy, Big Boy. Oh no, whatever is fine. Saitama. Yeah, I know. All right, let's talk about this. Managing Chrono crystals. I don't know how to spell crystals, apparently. As real money. This is important, guys. Managing your Chrono crystals like real money. Why? Why would you do that? What crazy thing would you have to do? Why would you have to do something as crazy as that? That's nonsensical. It's a game. Yeah, it's a game. But it's a game that will steal your crystals if you're not careful. So you better take notes. Except you don't have to, because I'm leaving all these notes for you, so don't actually take notes. You don't have to do that. Please don't. Just open the doc whenever you need it. All right. So why? Why? Well, yeah, we're gonna go over this now. So thank you, Emily. I appreciate you. All right. Let's talk about it. Because I think this is important. Yep, Godslayer. Listen, this is actually very important. I do this literally because a lot of people don't realize how important this is. As I wouldn't call myself a professional gambler, but what I would call myself is definitely a knowledgeable gambler. When you gamble, when you're gambling your premium stuff, so chips, gems, chrono crystals, diamonds, whatever, you have to also look at how much crystals or gems or diamonds or chrono crystals or whatever they give you per month in the game. From there, it's all about budgeting. It's also about understanding what you need to make to make of this, because half of the time, think of Dragon Ball Legends as like a job. Every month they pay you a certain sum of money, free money because of the work you put in, by the amount of work that you actually put in. That is how they function in this game. So the more effort you put in, the more CC you earn back. That makes sense in the context of a job. When I go to my office here and I put out videos for YouTube, I make a certain amount of money. Not a lot, but it doesn't matter. I will actually openly tell you guys, I think I've earned almost $200 now off of YouTube, which is not a lot, but it's definitely better than not making any money. So, and I could easily show you guys. I might actually also just do a picture of that and post that on my community post, so you guys can see my transparency when it comes to earning money through this channel. But I'll do that probably later. But the point is, that's a little bit beyond context. The point is, the amount of effort you put into the game is how much rewards you get back. The problem is when you don't treat your chrono crystals like money. That means the moment you see 1,000 chrono crystals, the first thing a lot of free-to-play players do, and especially new players or players that don't understand how gacha or essentially gambling systems work, is that when you throw an extra 1,000 into that banner, if you have no goal set in place, you fail. You automatically failed because you just wasted 1,000 chrono crystals. You did not pull, even if you pull the newest character, if you do not plan to run that character in a PvP team, or you're making suboptimal teams when you run that character, you inevitably failed. What, as I like to say, you fecked up. You fecked up hard and you screwed the pooch. And this is the problem. So, what do you need to do to get what needs to happen for success? This is the weirdest question I've asked. Or maybe it's actually not. Maybe that makes sense. Okay, doesn't matter. What needs to happen for success? So 1. Set a goal/goals All right? Pick a team you want to main, or decide to be a collector if you couldn't care less about PvP. This is important, guys. So setting goals is actually super important in this game, and with any gacha game, in fact. You need to set a goal. If you do not set a goal, you fecked up. If you want to summon on literally every banner possible, you can't be a PvP player. You literally cannot. You just, it's not possible. And I'm referring to the context of a free-to-play player. If you're semi-free-to-play, that changes things, because at that point you're a semi-spender, right? And as a semi-spender, you can spend a little bit of extra money, go here and there, grab the extra things that you need, still play PvP. So this specifically really does focal on the free-to-play players, the people that really need to focus on something and stop trying to get everything. Like, there will be Gokus that you will have to inevitably skip. There will be pink turds, aka Majin Boos, and Kid Boos, and whatever Boos, that you'll have to skip, most likely. There will be tons of units that you'll have to skip, and you're probably going to feel bad about it and feel like, but everyone's running the new unit. It's OP. And then, like, a month will settle, and then it turns out the unit's not even that good. And then there's easy ways to counter it, and then it disappears from the face of the earth, and you're just like, why did I try to pull on that now? Now I feel stupid. And that's the thing. And here's the next thing. When a banner is released, don't just summon on it. Evaluate whether the contents are actually good. And here's the thing about that. Yeah, I'll just leave it as that. Find external resources evaluating on it. I don't know how to speak English, clearly. Doesn't matter. Evaluating it. I could just say it. Wait a bit. The banner does not disappear in 3 days. So usually, typically, a banner will stay for around a month. And if it's not a step-up banner, it's gonna stay for roughly like 2 weeks to 3 weeks. You have time. You don't have to immediately go into a banner. Yo, Rocky, how you doing? All right, sorry, I'm just right now looking what you guys are saying. There we go. Daddy, now I'm very scared. Oh my god. I have 20 characters unobtained, saved again, and Super Saiyan that came back. Patience is key. Exactly. See, patience is key, 100%. I should have saved 20k for UI Goku. He sucks. Shouldn't have saved. Hey, Saitama, how are you? I'm fantastic, Shu. If I get 1k when I'm trying to Zenkai character in my case, is that also a waste? No. So we're gonna go over some more things. We're gonna go over things. I'm not done all my things. Next thing. So budget. Make sure to budget how much CC you can actually afford to drop on a banner / Zenkai banner. Don't waste it all unless it is a relevant banner for the tag that you have picked for your team. There we go. So yeah, budgeting is super important, guys. I can't stress that enough. I really cannot. Like, I don't know how else to stress that other than you really need to budget here. This game, like, for example, here's an example of this. spend 10K on a banner, for example. Don't go over it, no matter what the result may be. So for example, I did the Broly, LF Broly banner. I said to myself, I'm willing to go 8,000 CC into it. And that was it. To give you guys context, I had tried the Gogeta banner on my non-free-to-play account. So on this account, where it was non-free-to-play, I had shilled over about $300 into the Gogeta banner, plus free-to-play, like 24 or 25 Chrono Crystals. 25,000, I mean. And I can tell you, I pulled them. But what did it cost me? $300. And a lot of free-to-play Chrono Crystals. The banner was painful. However, then, on the Broly one, I saved up. I picked up all my Chrono Crystals again, got 8,000's worth, and I spent all of that on the Broly banner, knowing that if I failed there, I would stop. Like, just immediately. Immediately stop. Now, this is the non-free-to-play. The free-to-play account has spent zero money, and I always will keep it that way because I want one account to be free-to-play, so that way I know how it feels to be free-to-play. Because, you know, as much as I like the game, I also want to see both sides. I like the whale side to understand the whale's perspective, but I also need to understand the free-to-play side, so this is why I play both versions. Literally, so I can tell you about both versions and not be talking about my executive a-hole. So that's why. So if you guys need to know, like, yes, I have one non-free-to-play account, and whenever I do a YouTube video, if I don't specify free-to-play, it will most likely be my non-free-to-play account. If I do specify free-to-play, it will usually say it in the tag, or alternatively, you can figure it out because there's actually a key difference when you look at my YouTube videos. If you see a black border line on top of the screen, that is the free-to-play account, by the way. If you see that the screen is perfectly fit into my into my screen setting for my video templates, then it's my non-free-to-play account. So you'll be able to tell the difference immediately. So if you guys go and check, actually, some of my free-to-play and non-free-to-play videos, when it comes to, like, the same video type, you'll notice that. You'll notice my black bar screen, and you'll know immediately what account I'm playing, even if I don't say, this is my free-to-play account. You'll be able to tell immediately. So that's how you'll know. And, yeah. I'm one pull away from a Z7 Gohan. Oof. I feel that, Godslayer. I know on the free-to-play account, I think we have Gohan at 2 stars, so we're not going to see Gohan for a while on that one. I'm okay with that, because we main females anyways. Yo, UV, I see you. Yo, UV. UV's the ultimate, like, jailer. He's just like, have you been following the rules? Will I have to murder some people? No. Yeah, T300, exactly. Dang is right. But here's the nice thing. If you're a semi-spender, budget how much you're willing to spend. Before I did the Gogeta banner, the first thing I said to Emily is that here's the budget for how much I'm allowed to spend on the Gogeta banner and no more. So if I didn't pull Gogeta after those 300 plus the free-to-play, that would be it. So we budgeted 300 exactly. And we were not allowed to go over it. So I was allowed to get as close to 300 as possible, but never exceed $300 for the Gogeta banner. Which means that if I did exceed it, not only would I break my budget, but I would be going against my own policy. So I didn't do that. What I did was I budgeted, got as close to 300 as possible, and pulled them. As the last freaking pull before I was no longer able to pull without, like, building a more CC. So I was like, well, that's done. We're done with both Broly and Gogeta by technicality because I wasn't allowed to go over. Yo, thank you, Quan. Yeah, and I have noticed that too. Yo, it's your boy, Sigart. How you doing? I see you. I see you. I'm great. I'm great. No donuts today. Petrol prices went up. I need money for fuel gas. Fair enough, UV. Take care of yourself. Hey, boy. Just take care of yourself. How much are you spending for 3rd anniversary? I'm saving up for 20k CC. Minimum. And then as for Emily's account, depending on what are the units, we might just skip 3rd Annie altogether. Because, once again, guys, if 3rd Annie doesn't cover female warriors, there is 0 point in, in spending on that banner. If my main is females and androids on the other account, and I say, there are no androids or females, should I spend? The answer is no, obviously, because they're not my tags. Yo, NudiePie, I'm fantastic. How you doing? See, if you're maining female in war and future, if the 3rd anniversary banner has none of those units, you're actually better off skipping it. I know that sounds awful, but you have to look at this in the context of being a free-to-play. If you are free-to-play, you don't have much of a choice. You need to stick with the team you've picked, or the teams you've picked. That's it. Okay, here's the next thing. I'm also going to do a budget as a semi-spender. So this only applies for those that actually spend money. How do I spell a lot? I think that's how. Allot yourself cap on how much you are allowed to spend on a banner with real money and never go over it, no matter the result. So this one is more for the budget as a semi-spender. And the same thing applies for budget when it comes to the semi-spender. Know yourself, know how much you're allowed to spend, and be okay with the result no matter what it is. Banners will do that to you, and you have no choice but to accept the result. I don't main Whammon, but my Android 18 and Cauliflower by coincidence was 7 6-star, so I haven't Zenkai them both. Should I change direction? No, I didn't do one of these, Ali. You should probably double check what I've done, because this is not even close to the same thing. I'm going into Annie with 40k CC. That's a smart move. What if Gogeta Super Saiyan 4 comes in the new banner? Well, if you don't main GT or Fusions, skip them. It's very simple. If you don't main GT or Fusions, why do you need them? Like, you gotta understand that I look at this from the competitive side. Like, the only situation where you would say want him is if you're a collector. If you're a collector right here, which I set in goal 1. You have to decide if you want to pick a team to main, so being semi-competitive or competitive, or decide to be a collector, so you just say, screw PvP. If the answer is not screw PvP, and you don't main one of those two teams, you skip them. It's very simple. It's so simple. It's not even like a debate here. It doesn't take much to realize why you should skip something like that if you don't need to spend on it. See? Exactly, Just Matt. That's exactly my point, right? You need to be aware of what your goal is and not spend on hype units if they don't help you. That's why, for me, when I pulled for UI, I knew that pulling for UI for me was more for a collector's purpose than it was because I actually needed him. I just really wanted UI because let's be real. I know exactly what type of fanboy I am. My partner knows what type of fanboy I am. And she knows that preset as one of my earlier goals was if UI ever showed up in the game, I would want to get him. And Emily knew that. I knew that. And I wasn't going to just deny myself that because of whatever. So if you have like a collector's purpose on the side, make sure that you're always prepared for that. Which is what I was. I was prepared for that, which is why I didn't have to spend money for the first bits. I was ready to go in, but I did have to spend money for that one too. But again, this is Really only if you are a semi-spender. If you're not a semi-spender, what I usually suggest is ignore even things that you want, even though it's collector's purpose. If you are just a pure free-to-play, going for pure collector means that you stay a collector. Going for competitive means that you have to... Well, you can actually shift away from competitive. But if you shift away from competitive, it's going to be hard to get back in for a good bit. So just be aware. Okay. Let's move on though, because we got to do it. So we got set goals. We have to evaluate. So I think I'll write evaluate here. I think this is the greatest way to put that. Evaluating is important, so that will be the thing. Budget. So this one's for the free-to-play. This one's for the semi-spender, but the semi-spender should also do number 3. But free-to-plays don't have to do number 4 unless you decide to be a semi-spender. Then in that case, you can do that. Like, whatever. And if you're a whale, then technically speaking, none of these apply to you because as a whale, well, if you're a whale, the concept is you spend tons of money and you get what you want. Or alternatively, you don't spend a lot of money and you get what you want. Or you try to get a lot of stars. I don't care what it is. If you're a whale, basically, this is not of your concern. Is spending on the Battles Lovers plan the best way to get CC? Yes. So let's talk about just a subsection. Actually, let's just talk about it in person because we've already talked about this. In terms of the plans, the best CC value you're going to get is the Battle Lovers plan. It gives you 500 CC total if you are not spending any money. And I believe it gives you, I think, 1,500 or 2,000 CC if you're doing the premium version. Because it will give you both the free-to-play and the non-free-to-play Chrono Crystals, both. So you'll get both. And the fun fact is you could purchase it at any point, and wherever you are in your Battle Lovers plan, it will give you the amount that you would have gained if you had spent on it. So let's say I finished all of it, and I only got 500, but then I spent, let's say, the $5.99 or $10.99 that it says, or depending on your currency, it will immediately give you all that you should have earned as well. So even if, let's say, you complete your Battle Lover plan, you don't have to wait. Now, if you're free to play, this doesn't apply to you. Don't worry about this. All right. Here is the next thing. Happy weekend. Because I get a lot of questions about this. And I might as well cover it now, so we get it out of the way. I think this is the best way to put it. Here we go. So why am I saying yes if you're a new player and no if your teams are established? I forgot the word are established. There we go. Oh no, I see what I did. Okay, never mind. If you have your teams established, never mind. I didn't miss anything. Okay, so if you're a new player, you need these things called these SP medals. These are gonna help you increase your star levels that much faster. So every for the next 3 days of Saturday, Sunday, Monday, at least in my time zone, you will get 3 SP medals. When you do it daily, every single time, if you complete all your dailies, you will get 1 SP medal. This all goes towards getting the 100 multi-Z power for sparking units. Why does that matter? It's because that way you can increase your stars. Now, if you're a new player, you have low stars. It's just inherent. So the best thing you can do is you can maximize your star revenue by using the Happy Weekend. That costs you 100 CC, but it also guarantees you at least an EX or higher. And sometimes you can pull an LF unit. Now, don't be too excited when you pull the LF unit because unless it's for a team you need, it's not exactly actually exciting. You're mainly using the means to an end for the 100 multi-Z power. So you're actually doing it for the SP medal. You're not doing it for the unit. Now, to give you context, Emily's account should not be doing the Happy Weekends anymore. The Happy Weekends are done for her because she has every single unit she needs at 14 stars or almost there, or 9 stars, for example. If your teams are like mine and you're a semi-spender, you can budget if you wanted to. If you wanted to pull more on there to get more stars on your LF units when they do pop up in the rarity of occasions, which I think my best one was when I pulled Super Saiyan 3 Goku LF Zenkai 7 twice in a row. So I brought him from 7 stars to 8 stars because of that, because I pulled him twice. Back to back. So Saturday, Sunday, boom. LF Goku, LF Goku. And I was like, well, all right, bet. But at that point, you have to be a semi-spender. I think at some point you have to decide when you can no longer afford Happy Weekend, because 300cc per week is very draining. That adds up over time. And that could have been literally in a month. That could have been 1200cc that you saved up for an anniversary banner. Just go figure. Or a 1 level of a Zenkai unit. There's a lot that you lose out by doing your Happy Weekends. It looks like a great deal, and it is, until you've established what you need. Then it's a scam. It's good to see you too, Craftgenics. How you doing? Okay, so should I start building my Wamen or stick with what I have? My main now was between God and Saiyan. Well, here's the thing, it's your boy Sigart. What will you enjoy more? Because if you choose to switch now, what will happen is that you will be kind of put in a position where you have to restart. Realistically, you're restarting, which means that it's going to take some time before that becomes a viable team in PvP. I'm fantastic, Legendary Player. How you doing? I need my Evil 21 to 9 stars so she doesn't immediately get clapped. Yep, I know. So, like I said, Happy Weekend is only not a scam for newer players. It is the moment that you've established your team, though. So once you've established your team, consider whether or not Happy Weekend is even worth it anymore. Like, I know it's fun, but that doesn't save CC, and that imagine like spending, imagine like someone says, bruh, it's only $1. Spend it. So now think of it this way. Every 3 days in your week, someone tells you, spend $3 every single day, and I'll give you a lollipop. Okay? If you amass enough lollipops, then in that case, you can increase your lollipop collection. This is a bad analogy, but just bear with me here. Let's say you're a lollipop collector. Now, this is starting to get a little innuendo-ish, so I'm gonna try to tone this down if I can. No, I think I should just, like, scrap this analogy. This is a bad analogy. Basically, what I'm saying is, imagine someone says spend $1 every single week, 3 times a week. And you're not forced to, but they said but they prompt you to do it. Your goal here is to not spend $12 in a month, and then realize that in a full year you spend $144. That's kind of crazy. Okay? That's kind of crazy. You really think about it. Spending $144 on whatever in a month. Now, treat your 100cc as the same thing. 1,200 times 12. Think about that. Think about how much CC you put into that. If you pulled out a calculator right now, if we were to pull out a calculator right now, if, let's say, they keep doing Happy Weekend for a full year, okay? For a full year. That's how much CC you put into this damn banner. If we were to do for a full year. So this is how much CC you're spending in a full year on Happy Weekend if you keep on going to Happy Weekend every single day that it's there. Assuming that it's there for the full year, okay? I want to eat something because I have to eat right now. Ashif, how much CC can I get daily? No story. Daily? It's hard to say, but I can tell you monthly. So the month of March, guys, we earned about 15k CC if we're not talking about PvP. So in the month of March, you could have earned a total of 15,000 Chrono Crystals, not including story. Assuming you were skipping out on PvP altogether, okay? 15,000, 15k. Not 1,500, 15,000. And that's huge. That's absolutely huge. Right? Yes, Happy Weekend does give SP medals. So like I said, if your teams are established, so how about this? I will specify. All right, here we go. I'm free to play and I have a lot of LFs, including a 6-star UI Goku. That's awesome. That's awesome. That's called very good luck, or alternatively, multiple banners where you've been lucky on pulling them. So that's fantastic. Exactly, it's your boy Sigart. Exactly. That's still, like, that's a lot of CC that you could have saved for a different banner. When you get 30 SP tokens plus the 500 Z power from dual coin shop and top 10k Z power, guaranteed star level. Exactly, Godslayer. You got it. How do you know what teams to build? Christopher Budd asks. Well, here's the thing. You need to decide what team you want to main. You have to decide that. I can't tell you what to main. I can only tell you what are the best options currently, but the best options that are always changing. Like at one point, if you had asked around during the top cut showdown when Bebop got top place again, LOE was arguably, if not the best team in the meta at that time. And now you look at LOE and you're like, oh, how it has fallen. So when you pick a team, you must stay with it no matter how bad it gets or how good it gets as a free-to-play. Specifically as a free-to-play. So you need to go with the entire wave. You have to ride the wave no matter how bad or good it gets. That is just how that goes. Is there a limit for collecting CC? Absolutely. There's only a certain amount that you can get per month. But every month, it re-updates how much CC you can get, which is great. It means that this game does give out a lot of CC. The problem is it's the gacha. The gacha algorithm, that is the problem, which is why Zenkais are the best value for your buck. So speaking of which, or whatever one you want. So if it doesn't have to be Z7. I could have said to get to Z whatever. Actually, you know what? That's what I'm going to do. To Z whatever. Yeah, there we go. We're going to do that. I think that's the best thing to do. I think they need to increase the cap to 25k or 30k. Honestly, they need to have no cap. But the reason why they have a cap in the first place is because of secondary vendors. And also because they want you to spend money. That cap is literally there to deny exploits and to also incentivize spending players to keep spending. And for free-to-players to spend their CC. This is the problem. This is a problem that we talked about last stream, I think. Either last stream or the stream before that. Yeah, the stream before that. So if you want to go check that out as to what problems are in this game, we talked about that specifically. Okay, another topic we can talk about is how much should we spend on each banner, the banners we need, if focusing on one team. That's a great one. So, but that also technically goes under budget. So I guess the best way to put it is, figure. Okay, so, banners, banner relevancy. Let's talk about banner relevancy. Let's talk about a couple of new banners. All right. What is the minimum goal for anniversary? Assuming that you actually end up spending on anniversary 20K. 20K minimum. If you do not have 20K minimum, you are pretty much guaranteed to get shafted. And if you don't, congrats, you beat the odds. But I'm saying if you want to avoid as much as possible the potential for shaft, you need to have at least 20K. And that still doesn't guarantee you anything. It just increases your odds. That's it. What am I eating? I'm eating a home dish of like cauliflower and cheese with some yogurt, a little bit of chippies, and some water. Because I'm hungry, and I haven't eaten since like 10 o'clock last night. And it's already 2:55 p.m. here. So, yeah. Well, let's talk about banner relevancy. So let's actually do this as A. A. So these are I would say the biggest questions you should ask yourself when it comes to this specific question, when it comes to banner relevancy. And if there's anyone that wants to add anything to this, let me know in the comments below, and I will take a look just to double check, because I can add that to the list. But these are usually the things I ask myself. All right. Christopher Budd says, really? That sucks. Yeah. Yeah. No, Ali, you're wrong. 20K CC every 3 months? No, that's absolutely incorrect. That is absolutely incorrect. Last month alone, we got 17K. Max. Like, total. Total. Everywhere. There's an entire breakdown on the Reddit. This is just incorrect. 20K CC in 3 months? No, that's a far cry. We were looking more like 30 to 40K CC in like 3 months. Because the month of March has been very big. Usually on average, you'll see anywhere between 11K to 17K CC per month. Fun fact, guys. Fun fact. 11K to 17K. It can go anywhere between. In fact, actually, they've been increasing the amount of CC you can earn. So, you got to be... You need to look at the numbers more so than you got to look at how you feel about what we got, because events don't necessarily correlate with a lot of CC, but it does correlate with gaining new visible CC, right? And I don't know if I can find that Reddit post or pull on it, but if I have to, I will find it. I'll take a screenshot of it and then I'll post it on the community tab so you guys can just see the month of March alone. So, yeah, I think we shouldn't be so jaded when it comes to how much CC we get, because this game is very generous. The problem is that the game's generosity is ruined by how the game functions itself. They don't need to increase the CC amount. They need to start increasing gacha rates. Gacha rates are the worst thing, specifically. The CC amount is already getting raised. Our issue is the stupid pull rates. The pull rates suck. They suck. There we go. There we go. Bring back Chrono Rush. Yeah, gotchas are anime mobile games, exactly. But it's like, you know, gambling. It's just gambling. So Shu, we do get the 500cc now through the top. And they did redistribute the 500cc outside of the Ultra Space Time Rush. But the problem is, if they had kept it where it was while also giving us the redistribution, we would have got an extra 500cc more. And I think that's the biggest problem. The fact that they did not allow us to keep the 500cc in the USTR. They should have kept both. Honestly, they could have done both. Can I collect 20k until anniversary? Yes. Legendary player, you definitely can. You definitely can. Emily was at 25k CC, and we dropped her down to around like 17k, and she's already almost back at 20k. And it hasn't been more than maybe a week. So we've earned a lot. We've learned like literally almost over 2,000. Actually, we earned over 2,000 Chrono Crystals in literally a week on the free to play. So it is definitely doable. You just need to make sure that you keep up the grind. That's all. So here's the next thing. Let's talk about this. Can I just I want to just highlight this. Thank you. And do that. Thank you. There we go. I think that's another thing. So Cadox, no, it wasn't just gone, it was redistributed. Now that was a sly tactic on their part, and it made us feel like we lost out. And in a sense, we did, because just because they redistributed it doesn't mean they should have removed it from one area. What they should have done, instead of redistributing it, they should have just left it in the event. In fact, it wouldn't hurt them to give us an extra 500cc more. Actually, technically, in fact, they could give us as much CC as they wanted, and it wouldn't change anything, because at the end of the day, it's still rate-based, and people are still going to spend money on the game, no matter what. That's just inherently. It's inherently true. If you make the game really fun for players, and tons of players want to spend on the game, and free-to-play players feel like they are valued, the game will have long longevity. And this game already does. Because a lot of players realize that we do actually get a lot. We don't get, like, just nothing. And players that don't realize that we get more than enough usually are the ones that don't manage their CC well. And that's really what it really comes down to. It's just CC management. This was not the case when Zenkais weren't a good thing. And there's a lot to go into that, because at one point, this game was definitely not it wasn't exactly free to play. It was more so just kind of free to play. So yeah. I'm not gonna really go too far into, like, what I mean by that last point, mainly because that would require me to go into the history of Dragon Ball Legends, but I guess if I had to do it in a short summary, back in the day, Zenkais didn't exist, balance updates were a thing, it was all about star pulling, the average was 2 stars, if you ever fought a 5-star whale, it was painful, okay? Simple as that. Then after that, we got Zenkai. Zenkais were pretty much not free to play outside of Zenkai 1. So you basically, if you had a Zenkai 7, you were most likely a whale. Most likely. Most likely. There were some free to play Zenkai 7 players back in the day, but that required you to basically invest a ton into God Key mainly, or regen and nothing else. Cool. And usually you couldn't even do like other banners because of it, that were regen or God Key specific. Then came the advent of this new version of Zenkai, and people slowly became were able to be free to play while playing Zenkais and getting most of the units they want. So yeah, in that scenario, finally stars were no longer the biggest factor, because Zenkais with the higher stats, they kind of break the game to the point where if everyone has Zenkais, no one is actually falling behind. Except for the newest players. They fall behind. And that's the little bit of, like, background for the game without going too far into it, but that's the general idea. Character updates. Oh, I love character updates. Yeah, I know. Then God of Destruction, Top Bone, Super Saiyan, Blue Evolution, Vegeta are going to be some of the featured units in the anniversary banner. It's possible, just me. It's very possible. I mean, like, if it does happen, then God Key and Rival Universe is going to have even more power, like, in their hands, and that would be awesome. But at the same time, you know, sucks for those that don't get that specifically. Yeah. Honestly, if we had to talk about rates, I wish they would go back to the, like, 20%, 10%, 15% rates and stop putting so many 0.250% rates and stuff like that, or 1% rates, and stop inundating banners with irrelevant units. Just give us the core units, increase the rates, and you're going to have not only a whole bunch of happy free-to-play players, but you're going to have a whole bunch of happy whales. And I can assure you their revenue would go up. But they don't seem to understand this. They don't. Which is hilarious to me, because this is why PvP, like if you're going for top 10k, it's no longer about like 7,000 something, 7.2. Now the points usually require you to be like 8.5, 8.8, 9k just to be there, because we have lost a certain amount of players that we can never receive back. Ever. Like, the game is too old now to ever receive such a new, fresh pool of players without having also players leave. The game is not dying, but the game is, well, is on a stable trend. So it hasn't moved up or down, really. It's kind of fluctuating between, like, up, down, up, down, up, down, up, down. Nothing crazy. But at one point, the game was on a downward trend. And just like it started, it goes down, then eventually stabilizes. We're at the stable point, and we are forever going to be stuck at, like, you want to get top 10k comfortably, get like 9k RP every season, excluding X2 RPs. That you're going to get higher. Cadox. See, that's the thing. Starting over is tough, but once you pass the starting over section, the rest is easier. Trust me. It gets easy over time. But as a new player, definitely hard. Or as a returning player, definitely hard. You're going to need to give yourself at least 1 to 3 months to really settle in. And that's okay. It's about being patient and playing the waiting game. Yes, they definitely made... Okay, I can explain to you guys a theory as to why Ultras, the Ultra rarity came to Legends. So, it's a very simple theory. It may be wrong. It may just be simply because they want more money. But my theory is they do actually care about this game to a certain amount. A degree, they do actually care of the game. And if you care about your game, then you will know inevitably that you messed up the balancing of Zenkais. And if you messed up the Zenkai balance, you need to give the players a newer type of unit that finally shows itself as a relevant unit despite the legendary finish units that exist and despite the Zenkais that exist. Because realistically, a legendary finish unit at this point is more so a thing that you use as a flex, more so than it is actually always a viable unit. They're viable for the most part, but that doesn't change the fact that they're not the most viable things in the world. And then Zenkais are the cream of the crop of this game right now. Ultra rarity is to balance that out and finally give players that don't want to Zenkai a way to play without Zenkais, eventually. Or alternatively, mix Zenkais with Ultra rarity, so that way they have a unit that's even better than a Zenkai. So I think they're just trying to balance the game and give us something rare that goes back to what it used to be. Because I can tell you right now, with how Zenkais are populating the game, they're earning a lot of money, but they want people to spend even more money. And a lot of whales are starting to skip out on LF units, at least some of them, because they realize there's no value. So Daru Dai, what I would say is that if you don't need that LF unit, or if you have that LF unit already at 2 stars and it doesn't have a Zenkai, don't even bother. Just don't even bother. It's not worth your stars. If you have a 2-star LF unit that doesn't have a Zenkai and is a relevant unit in the meta, leave it alone. Don't try to pull on it again. Because trying to replicate luck, I've already talked about this, but trying to replicate gambling luck is a key reason why people constantly lose at casinos. It's because they try to keep on replicating their good fortune, when good fortune doesn't mean that it's going to consistently happen. Cadux, yeah, Legends Rose characters were awesome. Long Live Skinny says, I have about 2k energy. Also, I'm pretty with 4k skip tickets. Still, the grind for Z7 is ridiculous. Yes, I agree. However, if you're referring to, like, with Chrono Crystals, only if you're not managing your CC. Like, if you apply this, it should be okay. It shouldn't be too hard. But if you're talking about Legends Road Z7, yeah, they're a grind. They're absolutely a grind. Yo, thank you, BECHD. I appreciate that. So your video was very helpful, bro. Wish you the best for. Thank you, BECHD. Thank you for that. Doing the Super Saiyan LF3 Goku. What is your main team, Darodai? If your main team is Saiyans or Sun Family, then you've put yourself in a predicament where I would definitely say wait for more Sparking Limit Break banners to get the 600 guaranteed LLZ power, which is about 3,000 CC that you need to spend to get extra stars for all your units, and an extra 600 Z power for your Goku. Aren't some rates even less than 2.5, 0.25? Not exactly. I don't think anything has gone below 0.25. I don't think so. It's getting my units to 7 stars is what hurts because I don't summon a lot. Yeah, so long live Skinny. What I would say is that work on your gold coins and from the co-op shop. You guys should take Emily. Could you link in my stream my guide for multi Z power? So long live Skinny. I'm gonna send you my link for a video of how to get multi Z power. This is how you're gonna increase your stars without having to summon. Because realistically, it's a video. It's from the guides. It's the one with Android 18 on the cover. With the multi-Z power around. Thank you. What are your thoughts on the possibility of ever being a double transforming unit? How are they going to balance that? And that sounds dope. If they can balance it and make it fine and not underwhelming but not overpowered, just it's good enough to be in the meta and actually be usable and actually viable, then all for it. But I just worry about how relevant that will be and whether they will break it or whether they will make it just so underwhelming that it's not worth running. And that's my scare. Just do guides. Filter for guides, Emily. No, give the video, please. Give the I don't know. That's not the right video. That's the right video. Good job, Emily. Thank you. Oh, Schwix. Yes, I will be building a beginner's guide. I have finally gotten around to building. I'm definitely building first. I think 3 different videos. And then sometime this month, I do plan to release a beginner's guide for you guys. So if you're not sure what to do with your CC, hold on to it. I will cover a CC guide for you guys. All right, so I sent the link in the chat. So for anyone that wants to be able to gain more CC, not CC. What am I talking about? If you want to gain more stars for your team or teams, boom, there you go. There it is. Focus on something. Bro, can anyone recommend what is the best free to play? Because I want to focus on only one team and get other characters which can be used in the future. If BCHD, if you want to play free to play and you want the best free to play team, I think the current best teams right now for free to play would have to be, let's see, would have to be Future. Future's a great free to play team. What's another good free to play team? God Key is also another good free to play team, although on the expensive side. It's only good as a free to play if the current meta doesn't shift a lot and change the units. So God Key, it's more like a iffy statement. It can be free to play. It can be actually very free to play. And it's a very easy team to get into, but it might be hard to max out and to properly set up. Future's a little bit easier to set up, though. But only when the future banners are around. If they're not around, then obviously they're not easy to set up. So I say best free to play when the banners are out, when the stuff is out for you. So Ashif, I've actually covered an entire equipment guide, I think, on this channel. Fun fact, for a live stream specifically. I haven't done a video for that, and that's only because like equipments are a pain in the butt to explain. I say this because, and I explained this in my live, but The main thing you need to know is farming for red slots in your very first slot is the most important thing. Red or gold. Don't settle for green. If you have to settle for green, only if it's an awakened equip. If it's not awakened, don't settle for green. It's very simple like that. Yo, thank you, Long Live Skinny, and have a great day yourself, okay? Would it be worth using $5 for mission plans to get 2K to Zenkai Broly? I mean, only if you're willing to spend money. If you're not willing to spend any money, or if you will regret spending the money, then no. If you won't, then sure, yeah, it's totally worth it. Haven't seen a banner for Dragon Ball Saga yet? Well, we have. Launch and Yamcha. Am I going to showcase new units if I get them? Generally speaking, I don't do that. Mainly because there's a ton of DB Legends YouTubers that do it, but if you guys absolutely want me to do showcases, I totally can. It's just that I don't personally enjoy them too much. Like if I'm gonna be quite honest with you guys, I'm not a big fan of showcasing. Mainly because I don't personally enjoy it. Let's see. Are you going I got lucky with Jiren Topo and Dispo. I think it's so stupid that we can't delete this first slot like the other two. Well, Cadox, that's exactly why farming equipments matters a lot. What I learned is that equips are not worth it. Well, it's not that they're not worth it, it's that you shouldn't go for Z equips immediately. What I would say, at least A's, make them to S. And if you make them to S, you generally speaking are on a similar playing field as those with like with Z or Z plus equips. That's really what S really means. Will people with Z and Z plus have an advantage over you? Yes, for sure. But will they have a big advantage? Not as much as if you had just A equips. Before I head out, what are your stream times? All right, my stream times are 2 p.m. Monday, Wednesday, Friday. So every Monday, Wednesday, Friday from 2 p.m. my time. So right now it's 3:20 to about like 4 or 5 p.m. depending on the type of stream and how long it's going to be. There's no estimate, so you can pop in and pop out whenever you want. What would you consider better, Rival Universe or Future? Currently at this point in time, Future. But that is not to say that Rival isn't getting up there. In fact, it's actually maybe too hard to say because Future hasn't gotten anything new in a bit after the Ruined Future, whereas Rivals have just gotten a recent spurt in growth in terms of like what they received. So hard to say, but I'm seeing a lot more Rivals lately, but I'm also seeing a lot of Future, so hard to say. I think they might have hit similar levels, but I still think Future edges out because of how tricky Future can be, whereas Rivals is very linear. It's very linear. It's still very linear, and you kind of know what to expect. Is there a way to increase my energy without using the exchange shop? Yes. Stop overspending your energy. That is the best way to save energy and to gain energy. Fun fact, if let's say you only spend the first 10 energy you have and let it replenish, you will over time earn so much energy that you won't even know what to do with it. Whereas if you don't and you keep spending more energy than you have, you're going to start seeing depletion, you won't see an increase. So yes, there are ways. It's called properly managing your energy. And I can't believe I'm talking about this because we're supposed to manage our chrono crystals, not just our energy, but yes, manage your energy too. No problem. No problem. BCHD, I got you. Copy. Thank you. See you guys in the future stream. Sounds good. Long live Skinny. Have a great day, okay? How old am I? Emily, how old am I? 5. I'm 5, apparently. Emily says I'm 5. Times 5. That means I'm 14. 5 times 5 is 14, Emily. Yes. 5 times 5 is 14 video. This is the best thing ever. I'm gonna show this. I don't care. This needs to be shown. Oh, this is without the subtitles. No! I want the subtitles. Give me the subtitles. Emily. I figure 75% to you, Panma. So, 25% divided between the 5 of us. Look at this. This is important. That makes 5% for each one of us. Billy, you're cheating yourself. If there's 25% divided among the 5 of you,
That's 14% apiece.
Exactly.
Oh, no, listen, Pop. I wouldn't cheat you. You know I wouldn't. Now, look here. I'll show you. Let me rub this out here. Now, 25...
This is important. It's only like 2 minutes.
...divided by 5 is 5. You see, 5 won't go into 2, will it? No. But 5 goes into 25 5 times, you see?
No, you're wrong, Billy. Now, I'm a pretty good mathematician. Now, 5 into 25... 5 won't go into 2, will it?
No.
No.
But 5 goes into 5 once.
Yep.
Now, we didn't use the 2
Yep.
before.
Exactly. So if 20
Now, 5
goes into 20 4 times, 14.
5 into 25, 14.
No, look, Pop. Let me prove it to you now. By my 5 times 5. 5 times 5 is 25.
Really, I'm surprised you're learning.
Huh?
I'm surprised that you're learning. Now I'll show you. 5 times 14 is 25. 5 times 4 is
20.
20.
5 times 1 is 5. 25.
5. That's it.
No, look. Look, you're wrong there because I'll prove it to you. We'll put down 5 14s here. 14. There. Now I'll prove to you by addition that 5 14 is not
25. 25.
4, 8, 12, 16, 20.
21.
22, 23, 24, 25.
There you are. Better brush up, Billy. I don't want to see you boys cheated.
Beautiful. See? An entire video just for Emily. Emily, I should send that to you. All right, there you go. So that's exactly how you know that yeah, 25 divided by 5 is 14, or 14 times 5 is 25. That means how we know how 5 times 5 is 14. Boom, bring it up. So there you go. That's exactly why. I don't even remember what the context of this was, Emily. Oh, how old was I? Yeah, I was 5. Times 5. Yeah, there you go. That's how this all came about. I can't believe someone asked me my age, and that's how this all came about. Wow. Cadux, okay, I understand. Cadux, what you should have done is you should have spent, did you do that at least on the weekend? So, but inside, I've made some quick calculations on how many LFs you could get with 20k CC. So, regarding the chances of getting 0 is 53%, while the chance of getting 1 is 33%. Exactly. Something similar to that, yep. I haven't done the calculations myself, but that seems about right. It is GDP, gamer. Let's get back on track. Because we set goals, we evaluated, we budgeted as semi-spender, we've decided if Happy Weekend is worth it, Zenkai summons, banner relevancy, we have discussed how we can figure out whether banner is relevant, and we also go back to, refer to evaluate 2, but we also do that for Zenkais or new banners. So go to step 2 if unsure. And then go to step 2 if unsure. I think that's the best way to put that. And then gotcha's gambling. Perfect. We got that. So I think the last thing that we should talk about yeah, the last thing we should talk about is losses are better than broke. And this one is more so a mantra that any gambler should agree with. There you go, Daru Dai. There you go. It's game time. If you got only 2K, you better build it up really fast. I'm going to set the budget on the new banner as 3K CC since I want to spend on anniversary if it has good units. There you go, Just Man. Good idea. See, that's good. So that means no matter if you win or lose there, you know that you've set your parameters and you don't go over it. I don't know if I spelled losses correctly, but I'm going to hopefully say that I spelled that correctly. But yeah, listen. Being broke is way worse than just not getting the unit you want. So for example, actually, let's talk about examples. Example. Spend 10k CC, don't pull new hype unit. There you go. Just reported a Nightbot. And there you go. This is pretty much everything you need to know here. Like, losses are better than being broke. This is why I stopped after the LF Broly's 8KCC, because I said to myself, I'm doing 2 rotations, and then after that, I have to stop. So I think the last thing to say before we wrap it up is this. Don't give in to temptation. Last one is this. Yeah, random question before ending. Go for it. Do you think after videos and stuff, GT will be able to compete with Saiyans? Maybe. We'll see BCHD. I can't really say. It's too hard to say. I mean, after Second Annie, GT was only good enough to really compete at some level, but it was never perfect. Had a lot of problems. Thoughts on becoming a VTuber? Honestly, I wouldn't hate it. I mean, I totally want an OnlyFans for my feet. So if I want to do OnlyFans for my feet, I could totally do a like VTubing for my hand. I could be a VTubing sock puppet. So in fact, I could make an anime sock puppet with my hand and actually make money off of that. So I mean, if it makes me money, I mean, yeah, I'm on board on VTubing. Supremacy 25 says, yeah, 11 is for me. I have 1 KCC because of temptation. Yeah, so here is how, like, you need to be aware that temptation is going to be your biggest problem, and you need to figure out how you're going to deal with it. For me, one of the best ways to deal with temptation is to put the game away for a bit. Wait out a little till the banner's gone, or just don't go to the summon section, so I don't look at it. Because realistically, we all struggle from temptation. It's just a matter of, do you give into it? And if you give into it, then my suggestion is never go into gambling. Never, ever, ever play at a casino. And for the love of God, why are you playing a mobile gacha game in that case? Unless you're doing it as a collector and just don't care. Or you're just playing the game and you just don't care. If you do care, if you want to get better at this game, then you have to care, which means that you have to abide by some rules when it comes to this. And sure, sometimes you can give in to temptation and get what you want. I'm not saying the possibility isn't there. This is on the general concept that at least 90% of the player base suffer from, which is they get shafted and they don't stop getting shafted. And the reason for it is because they never, ever manage their chrono crystals as real money. The moment you figure out that this is real money, the rest is set up for success. Got time to do the Gogeta banner? I gave into it. I'm not going to fall for it again. There you go, Just Man. Exactly, you got it. I'm gonna need that premium. Yeah. OnlyFans when. Yeah. I love how I'm chilling with 25k CC, but I had to sacrifice quite a few of banners. Rip. Exactly. And see, that's the thing, BCHD. We have to learn to take our L's somewhere, whether it's saving or whether it is having no CC. You're gonna lose out on something. It's a matter of what you're willing to lose out on and what you're willing to do to play this game the way you want it to be played. So there you go. So the last thing we're going to do before we wrap it up is I'm going to show you, actually, Emily, I want to use the free-to-play account because I want to show people, like, for the free-to-play specifically. Sorry, Emily. I want to show the free-to-play account because I don't want to use my account, since my account's not exactly the greatest example for this. So let's use the free-to-play. What do you call a Potara and a fusion unit? A fusion. Fusion. Do I grind PvP? I only grind PvP up to battle rank 50 at max. And then I stop unless I want 1k CC extra. Then I'll go to top 10k. Because top 10k isn't really that hard. It just takes a grind. And it takes some time. So usually I'll go to like around the middle, around 5,000 on the last day. So 5,000 in my positioning on the last day, because that's how I know I'm safe. So usually I try to reach like 9k RP, and I always reach that if I want it. So yeah, that is what I grind to if I'm feeling like I need the 1k extra CC. But if I don't need it, then I just I grind to 50 and I stop because I don't care. But let's look at now the specifically the free-to-play banner. I mean, not the free-to-play banner, the free-to-play account. Because I want to show you guys what it's like to be free-to-play in this situation. We're going to interrupt this one because that one's bad. I'm just doing the adventure on this one because Emily hasn't kept up at all. Didn't even do her 23-hour adventure. She switched with 7-hour adventures. I'm ashamed. I know. All right, let me bring out air server now. I'm going to go to phone. So just give you guys I'm going to air server this real quick. Continue trial. And then let's bring it up. Smart view. Let's go. What is better, Legends or Dokkan? Depends on what you like better. If you like I don't know, if you like popping bubbles and you like just PvE only, Dokkan's better. If you like Dragon Ball Legends, then Dragon Ball Legends is better. It really just depends on what you like. All right, so first thing we're going to look at. We look at my energy. 6,062 energy. Yes, this is how you play as a free-to-play. You conserve your energy and really only save it for things you actually need. Don't overdo it, and really just focus on the teams you actually want to play. Next thing's up. Let's take a look at the summons. Alright, so we did single summons for Legends of All-Star, but we never got into a single consecutive summon. Why? Because we don't really need this banner. But we like the units there, and it potentially can pull us a Vados. So we say to ourselves, why not? We can do singles at max. This one, we did the first 500, then we just said no more. We were done immediately. Then after that, we skip this, 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 we skip that because we can't even do it, but we're gonna skip it anyways. Skip, 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 skip. So yeah, we also don't do the rush limited. We don't need it, so we skip it. This one we don't skip because it's free, but we save up or alternatively do single summons if we feel like it. Obviously these are free to play tickets, so you just don't skip because you don't have to. And that's it. That's really all there is to it. You just pretty much skip the majority of banners. It sucks to say it, but I mean, look at the CC we have. 19.347k. I mean, come on. I think that's pretty good. All right, I'm back. I had to show my friends how 5 times 5 is 14. So there you go. Hi, Phil. Did you get 7-star Shallot? Yes, I did. So there you go. That's pretty much it is. That's all there is to this game. And if you do your characters correctly, if you're playing this game correctly, here's an Androids team. I always like to show this off because it's free to play. 9-star 21, 7-star Cell, 9-star 21, 14-star 21, 14-star 18. All right, here's the girls. 14-star Kefluff, 9-star 21, 10-star Cauliflaw, Zenkai 7. All soul boosted to the max. We've got Android 18, maxed out. Android 21, maxed out. Launch at 7 stars. I mean, I can't even begin to stress how free to play this game can be if you play the game properly, especially if you want to play PvP. And there you go. That's all there is to this game. That's all you need to know how to play. So just be aware of that. Why are guild coins underwhelming? Because guilds want you to win over time to actually collect them. So you mainly use it for eraser slots and energy. If you use it for those two things for guild coins, you will have the best buck for your value, and you'll also be able to get things nicely without having to spend too much. Anyways, guys, that's pretty much that. Is it worth a pull on dailies just for 1 unit? No. Star Gene, it's not. So another reason why we go the single summons for the All-Star is for either hit or revival coup, literally for the co-op, or for the co-ops that come up and stuff. That's really it. Only because there are other units on that banner, and it's not too painful to do it. I would say it's only just definitely not worth it if, like, literally every unit on that team is useless, except for one. Okay. Anyways, that's pretty much that. There's not much else to it. Let's just go back to reaction. And boom, there you go. So that's pretty much that. I'm going to be sharing this Google Doc with you guys. So you have... Oh, actually, I think it's already shared. Never mind. Emily, did you share the Google Doc already? Yeah, she already did. So there you go. This is it. Thoughts on being a system where you can do a single by watching an ad? Great idea. Cadux. That would be a great idea, honestly, because, I mean, I think 7 Deadly Sins already does something like that. Fun fact, Grand Cross already does stuff like that. So, yeah, that's actually not a bad idea. Yo, do I see Eli? Yo, Eli, I see you there. When's Annie? Clean? Kai, this is, Annie's, like, late May, early June. That's when. Anyways, guys, I think that's pretty much, that's it. Have a great day, guys. Stay safe. I see you guys are also taking care, like, dipping out, but I need to dip out as well. Have yourselves a great day. I hope that you guys learned something from this. I know that it was not very hard for me to, like, go over this. How do I get the Google Doc? So it's in my link in my description. I'll also post it, I guess, in the comments if you want to click on it. And that's it. Yeah, so just letting you guys know, tomorrow I will be streaming the live reaction, my live reaction of the video and stuff for tomorrow. So tomorrow specifically, we are going to have an extra stream, mainly because of the live reactions. If you want to see that, if you want to check that out with me, come by tomorrow. We'll check it out together. So that way you don't have to be in that weird stream. Although if you want to be there too, you totally can, and I do suggest it. So have yourselves a great day. Have a great day or night, and stay safe, all right? All right, take care, guys. Stay salty out there, and I'll see you later.